Well, hello. We are going to be going over the cards for the July 2026 stamp camp that I am having. And I am mainly taping this for those in Minnesota because I have a virtual, um, I Zoom with them at the same time as the ones that I have here in California. This month, I'm only having one person come from California. Everybody else, I guess, is busy. So that'll be a little different. And I'm going to go over these four cards. Um, I'm going to be making them while showing them to you because I sent everything to Minnesota, took a breather, and took another day of a breather. I did a full day of service. And so I am very far behind. So I'm gonna just do them alongside you. Now, this particular stamp set was a um, product of the month. So it was one of those where with the $75 order, you could get the stamp set for $5. And it has these cute, adorable animals. We got the deer and a bunny rabbit and a duck. Um, and they're cuter than cute. And so I put them in cute little cards. I do not have them um, with pre-stamped sentiments. You are all getting a a bunch of blank labels for you to put your own sentiments together, and so that may or may not be something that's helpful. I thought it was going to be helpful, but it may not be helpful, so I apologize. I thought this way you would be able to make your card and then save it, and you could either stamp on the card a sentiment, leave it blank, or use a label and stamp a sentiment as needed, or you could pre-stamp them thinking ahead of what you have coming up in the near future for cards. So I'm going to turn the camera down to the table so we can start. And I don't really have a particular order. I'm just gonna, the first one I grabbed is the one with the deer. So we'll go through that one and we'll just, we'll just do that. All right, so here's the table. Let's see. There we go. Okay. The deer one, it is cute. Um, and I have it in a, kind of like they have her sitting down, so it's like a little pasture scene, right? Um, and you will notice that it's some of the strips don't quite match the same um, as some of the paper, and it's done that way on purpose. So it's done so you can just have a little bit of something a little different. But if you want, you can, like mine is a little bit bigger. You can trim it to the same size as this main piece of designer series paper. And maybe yours is already that. Maybe I'm the one that's the oddball. So this is how it's going to go. You're going to do it like this, but you want your you want your deer in a little bit. The reason why is because now you have your three um, what do you call it? I'm going to call them elements or whatever. And you're going to put 1, 2, 3. You're going to put the 3 there. So you do need the deer in just a little bit. Okay. So let me grab my tape so we can get this one done. Now on these, I do have them all just flat to the surface, but you all are creative in your ways and you can change them up any way you like. So I am going to get this one down. You're definitely going to want this side up, not this side. And there's no particular way. It's not like it's, you can tell by the pattern. So let's put it in the middle of the card. Card front, that is. Okay. Not too bad. All right, so now let's get this down. One thing about this being the simplicity of it is that all of you are getting a second set, so it gives you some flexibility to kind of change up the way you have everything done. So definitely you can put this over to this side. You can play with it any way you would like. So this is what I'm going to do here. Now, something that might look really quite nice is you could take this and you could bring this up on dimensions, and then your elements put down here. Now this green doesn't quite seem right. Yeah, I think I'm going to change my green. It just doesn't seem right. And I sent you all 3 of these. Put 1 on each end and 1 in the middle. And I believe I gave you all the very exact same size, just so it gives it a little bit of, what do you want to call it? Everything looking the same. And I am going to do what I said. I'm going to put this on dimensionals. I don't know, I like to get a little, I don't know if it's crazy is the word, but I don't like my labels to be bending inwards, so I've got quite a few dimensionals on the back of this one. All right. And I'm eyeballing it, kind of putting it in line with this middle dot there. Okay, so there we go. So now what you can do is, if you want, you could stamp a sentiment in here, but if you're going to do that, you want to do it before you put this down, if you are going to have dimensionals underneath it, because Now to try to stamp on it, it's an uneven surface. If this was flat, it'd be a different, it'd be something different altogether. So you have quite a few different types of labels that you can use if you want. I'm thinking this isn't quite right. Maybe maybe this one. You know, you could fill it in and put it there maybe if you want to put something on it. Or tuck it in there. I actually kind of like it with nothing on it. I'm going to be honest with you. If you really feel you need to do something on it, I mean, go ahead. Maybe try to tuck it, something like this, and tuck it in where the deer has a little bit of space, and then you can tuck it right there. So I just pulled out some stamps to use. Trying to see, did I get ones that would work? That one would be hard. Do something like that. So glad we're Stay Wonderful. That would be nice. Okay, so here on this set, here's this one here. It says Stay Wonderful. So this is what you do. You take your label, and here you'll have your, stamp sets, and it'll tell you we have the sayings, and it's true to size unless it says differently on the front. And so you can cover over it, and now you know that that stamp is going to work with this label because it fits underneath there. So it's going to work if you use this label. If you want to keep a saying like that, or you can find something else. I do think if you try to do something like this, that's almost too chunky. That would be too chunky. That's too much. So with this, if you do want a saying, you're going to want to keep it small. Okay, that's what I'm saying with that one. So we are done with card number 1. And I believe I gave you all just white cardstock to put in the middle, in the inserts. Okay, so let's go to card number 2. This one is super cute. This one has the bunny rabbit, and as you see, I put 2 clouds, aren't they cute, and a little bit of grass. So if you wanted, with this particular stamp set, you could actually take your deer and give your deer some grass too, if you wanted to fill that in a little bit more. I just kind of, for some reason, I just kind of liked it like that, the simplicity of just having that little thing in that big label. So you have 2 pieces of cardstock. One is designer series paper, and the other one is cardstock. So the designer series paper, I did mine where that would be on the left, and the blue cardstock would be on your right. So you're gonna tape them, put tape on the bottom, and then I would put one down. So you're gonna put, let's say, I would put this one down first. In towards the edge like this, right? And then when you go to do your blue, then you're going to butt up against this edge and have it also be the same level as the top and the bottom. So that's what we're going to do. Let's get her done. Okay, so here I'm going towards very as close kind of as I can with a little bit of white border, and try to have it where it's kind of even top and bottom. It's never going to be perfect because you're eyeing it up. I mean, if you want to get a tape measure and try to put it together, it's going to be really hard because you've got tape on it already. And if you're trying to place it down, then you have the possibility of it already sticking to your card front, and then you have to try to get it unstuck and repositioned. Okay, the blue, easy enough. Tape it, and we're going to set it right next to the pattern paper. Okay, as you can see, I've got it flush and then flush on both sides. So like if it was going to be here and it was going to start going off the card front, you would move it up and you would want to keep it even up here as well. So even if you have to take part of this and overlap this to make it even, then that's what you do. Otherwise, it's once you've taped it, it's kind of a mess trying to pull everything off and cut it and everything. Okay, so the easy thing part here is you're going to have a piece of black cardstock. Obviously goes in the middle, and then this goes on top of it. See that? That's all we're going to do. And I didn't put these on dimensionals. I kind of think it's best not to. Right. Okay. So this goes in the middle, and it's not going to be very much of a border around it. So it's kind of got to get straight on there, right? Okay. Okay, you are going to have 3 blue elements. I am really not coming up with the words I need tonight. I don't know why. Here we go. Here's my blue. So I would do something like maybe put one up here, put one down here maybe, maybe one like here, you know? Okay, now that's done. Now again, if you want to do your sentiment, this kind of gives, you could put something a little bigger on there if you wanted. In that case, then you would probably cover up a little bit over here, and then you would take this and move it over. I gotta be honest, I like it without anything even stamped on the front. To me, it looks really nice. So you could try something small on this as well. And then if you have like any twine, you could use twine and make a bow or something like that. I believe in with this particular card, I did send you all with a little bit of light blue lace. Now, there's if you're really crafty, you could probably make it into a bow, but I was thinking just doing a little bit of a knot and then putting a glue dot behind it and putting it on the front of your card. So it would be, let me show you. So once you get it knotted it'll be something kind of like that. Let's get a little bit tighter, like that. And then on the bottom, you put a glue dot on it. And if you're able to have it so it will go through a couple levels, maybe, is that what you say? So it will all stick and it won't pull apart. So that's what I would do with my ribbon. I would do this, and then you don't need a saying really, but if you want one, go ahead, make one. Use these ones that I put in with your package. I also sent to Minnesota some punches that could be used in making labels as well. So hopefully those will be out so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, let's go to card number 3. This one is a little more tricky in the way you're gonna its appearance, and you do what you like. You are going to have a I believe it's going to be some type of yellow designer series paper. I ran out of the ones that I sent to everybody of that cardstock, so here's what I found. And now one thing I did to kind of pull the blue through is I found this designer series paper. You're gonna want the dots if you do decide to use it. And so what I had done is I did something like this. I had it over to the edge. There's still, see, just goes just a little bit over this band. And then you're gonna have your paper with your flowers. Your little, I'm gonna call it, what's that stuff that you dry and always put in with flowers? Baby's breath. Kind of looks like baby's breath. Okay, and go in a little bit like that, as you see, okay? And you have Mr. or Mrs. Duck, okay? So you're going to put Ducky any way you want it to look. So you can have it all the way flush over here and cover some of it up, or you can have it in and have it flush to the edge here and have all of it showing, for a little bit of something showing on all of them. You have a lot of variations you can do. I'm gonna do this where it's level with the bottom of the blue and go over that way. Now you will have yellow well, these aren't dimensions, but you will have yellow blobs and you will put 1, 2 on the front of your card. So let's get this taped and let's get rolling to card number 4. Now, I'm hoping you're understanding as you're putting this together that there are many ways that you can change this particular card up for sure, into something different by just putting the designer series paper in a different order, or putting it on different side of the front. One of the things you could definitely do is take that blue designer series paper, take that out all together, and just do the yellow with the cardstock that looks like it's got baby's breath on it. And that would be, I think that would look really nice. See, let's try that. And then a little quacker here. Maybe like that. See? That's nice too. You don't even need the blue. I was just putting the blue on just to give a little bit more coverage, and also it would pull out the cardstock color, but you don't really need to. So up to you. And this gets flush to the edge of the card. I don't know if any of this designer series paper is familiar to any of you guys, but I have been for quite some time trying to get all of this paper used up. These polka dots, I think what happened is I bought a double batch of them, but it was for a different color to use. So all these other colors ended up just kind of sitting in my drawer. So that's why I'm kind of pulling them out. All right, so I'm going to do this. Like I said, I'm going to put it right in the same corner. It's the blue. Go over to the edge. Okay, so there we go. And then my two yellows. Okay, so this one, let's see if we've got something we can put on a label and add to it. I have this one that says "Hello You," so it just needs to be on a small one. Let's put it on here. Okay. And so Stampin' Up! Again is streamlining everything. They're not having them in these cases anymore. They're all going to be in the envelope style, and it will take a lot less room in my craft room, which will be nice. Let me think. What color will I use? I think I'm just going to use black, because black is the color around the duck or goose. And then what's very helpful when you're stamping is to put your label, what you're going to stamp on top of a cushioned surface. So I'm using a foam mat for this, and it does help with getting a better imprint in the label. So here we go. There. Hello, you. So I will put that on dimensions. There we go. And then I would get probably, I probably wouldn't use ribbon, but I would use the twine or something like that would work real well with this, and do something over here in the corner, okay? So that is the third card. Now we are going to the fourth card. Quite similar to a card we've done already. And I've got Bunny Rabbit. And, oh, this one's got some of the stuff didn't come out of the hole. Here we go, getting it. Okay. So you will have, with this one, I believe it's going to be some yellow um, uh, designer series paper, something of that sort. And then mine has a muted floral print I'm going to use, and I'm kind of looking at it. This does have some green, like green grass. And they do have the green grass going in just one direction, going up this way. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to want it that way there. So this one, I would take this, and I'm not quite sure how I did my picture. I don't have my phone with me. So here's a couple ideas. You can do this, do it underneath, do this, and then do this on top. Okay. You see, you could do that. Or you can do this first, this over the top, and I don't have it all the way going to the other side. So on mine, I'm going to choose to have it, do I want to center it? Yeah, I'm going to center it. And then this is going to go, I think what I'm going to do is do most of it over the yellow instead of doing it where it's like this and you have the yellow over the side. I think I like it where this is covering the yellow. See that? That's what I'm going to do. But I know that the sample I sent, or the picture I sent, does not have it quite that way. This is just showing that you can fly by the seat of your pants and change it any way you want to. And if you want this big piece of paper to be a different size, feel free. Get a paper cutter out and cut it down. You could even cut it in half and make something, like one of these stick, I don't know if you'd call it a stick, and then put this in there and then this on another level and have different heights to them. That might look kind of neat. All right, so here I've got that set down. Let's set this one. And remember I said I wanted to center it on there. So I'm saying that now so I remember to do it. Otherwise I just might forget. All right. So centering, you don't want to have anything exactly laid down. You have it kind of at an angle, and then you're going to go kind of center it. And there, I'm done. Okay. And I said this would go in the middle. Okay. So now here's your next stop point. Do you want to put a sentiment right here? Or do you want to put a sentiment on something else? So something like this would be quite cute. And you definitely have the ability to fill in some space. I'm thinking here. Maybe that's going to be in the middle. Maybe this could be in the bottom corner. So it's underneath the bunny rabbit. That's an idea. Not a fan. You could do it up here, and then I would do it on dimensionals so it's over the rabbit a little bit so they can still see the entire image of the rabbit. All right, so let me get, did I put that one down? I did. So let me get this one down. All right, so I'm going to put it in the middle of the Floral Designer Series paper because the other one is just kind of on top, not necessarily in the middle, it's just eyeball. Let's see, there we go. I think I've done that better. Okay. All right. Now I just, this was a stamp and this was a stamp, and they're both obviously a brown color. You could stamp the outside image with a color, and then this part fill it in using markers or pencil, and then pencil, you would want to make sure that people were aware of that, because pencil is going to get on their clothes and stuff if they're not paying attention. So let's see here. This one is the one I like, and I'd set it up on dimensionals. So how about I got this one that fits in there with sympathy. We don't always like to think about it, but I will have that stamped, and then maybe what I'll do is I will tuck it inside the card, and if opportunity arises, I will take it out and put that on there. So let me get the brown. So I use the pecan pie to create the brown part of it. So let's use that for the sentiment. Okay. Right. All right. I like the font that they used for this. It's very in my opinion, it's soothing to the eyes. So there we go. So you can use this, and I would put it up on dimensionals up here. This is going to go inside the card and used if needed. Put it that way. You don't want to say, hope it never does happen. It's not it. At some point, those kind of cards do get used, unfortunately, but it's always nice to have a something that's got a nice soothing front to it when you send things out. Now, this one I'm trying to think what we could use for our little balls. Well, let me see here. I'm not sure if I sent you guys something. I might have. This green should work. Let me get that in there. Right. Move this up a little bit. Okay. All right. So we have 4 cards. And as you can see, there is so many different ways that you can rearrange your card front. That one is a lot of varieties. This one you don't really have much other than us putting the blue over here and the hearts over here. But you definitely could put this in a different part of the card front. I put it in the middle, kind of to cover up the seam part. And it just looked, I just thought it gave it a nice sleek look. And then of course we have our deer that is just makes you want to watch a Disney movie or something. So I hope let me see, I hope you enjoy making those cards. And we're going to take a break in July as everyone's got some pretty busy schedules for July. August, we'll see. I am planning to be in Minnesota in August. So if that's the case, then we were going to do a flip flop and I will do something there. And then California can stream that way instead. So talk to y'all later. Bye.